So I'm trying to, get this whole bit, Carl the Stormtrooper bit, and we're trying to,
Hmm.
we're the droids because I think that's kind of a funny thing to do. I think if
Yeah, we could do that.
we
We
do
could.
that, and so, um,
Um,
but huh? Yeah, I see
I don't
that's
know.
you is we're gonna call it the Baby Yoda show or the Mandalorian special.
I'm not sure. I think Mandalorian special. That sounds like a something you get at a Tatooine restaurant. The
Huh.
Mandalorian special.
Okay.
I think the Baby Yoda show is what we need to go with.
Okay, well, let's do that.
All
And
right.
whenever the show starts, we'll go ahead and do it.
All right. It's the Something About Baby Yoda Show podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
And my good friend, Mr. Ricky Pope. I do not know what just happened. That was wonderful. Uh,
Did
man,
you catch the title that I added to the show? It's something about the Mandalorian as the
yeah,
title. I think we should
yeah,
like if we're gonna stick with this new format. By
yeah.
the way, tell us if you like the new format because our new format is we're gonna do a few little goofy things at the beginning, maybe something goofy at the end, but we're gonna have one big topic we talk about. So
That's
that's
right.
kind of the.
That's
Let us
right.
know what you think of the new format. If you like it, put a comment down below. Let us know. If you hate it, put a comment down below. Let us know. Um, as long as you're putting a comment down below, I really don't care because that means more people will see.
Exactly. Yeah. Give us
It's
some
all
feedback.
about the algorithm, my friend. All about
If,
the algorithm.
if anybody heard the intro, to me, it cut out a couple of times. So if anybody else heard the intro cut out, just let us know because we're messing around with audio and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're
Um,
changing some audio settings,
yes.
trying some new things, but we'll see how it goes. So, all 11 people that are watching, we have
That's awesome.
some people
Hey, I didn't.
watching.
We got the kid. I need to get the kids out of the closet.
Definitely.
There we go. There we go. Sometimes I forget to get those kids out of the closet. They're the only audience we have. We keep them in there throughout the whole week, and then we give them out Wednesday night. So, hey, Mr. Torrance L. Jones.
Hey,
Oh, how you doing, sir?
good,
Oh,
good to have you watching.
good to have you. Thank you, sir. Man, I love seeing new people come on.
Absolutely.
Oh, Cecilia.
Celia, good to see you.
Yo, man. Yes, please let us know.
Let us know where you're watching from, and
Right.
we'll try to get it up on the screen if we
That's
can.
right. Yeah, Joe Exotic. If let us know if you're out
Yeah,
there, listen
yeah.
to us. Yes,
I
Joe
don't know
Exotic
that
is the
Jod
guy.
Exotic
Joe is the
can
guy
watch
who
it.
actually we give credit to for starting this new type of format. Uh,
Yes.
I said we weren't going to do anything with Joe. I mean, we talked about Joe for the past 4 podcasts, and here we go, Joe. He's a celebrity here.
Yeah, it did
Uh,
kind of start. That show kind of took over. It had a life of its own,
yeah,
and it kind of created this idea of one
Trinidad.
big.
Uh,
Wow, hey, Trinidad West
wow.
Indies, great to have you watching.
Let me get my map and put a pin on it. I
Saren
have
says
a
you guys are hilarious.
just
We should have a
try.
map.
We should have a map.
Hey, roll tide, Tuscaloosa,
Oh,
Alabama.
we're folk in Virginia. Are you in the military, Terrence? I'm just thinking Norfolk, Virginia. I
A
always
lot of
think about,
people. Yeah,
I
if
think
you're in
about, yeah.
Norfolk, Virginia, aren't you? You're either a military or you work for the behavioral the behavioral unit of the FBI.
I thought, I thought you said the behavioral unit. I live in that. That's where I live. The behavioral unit. Yes, they let me out. Yeah,
They let you out from
let
time
me
to
from
time.
time to time. So yes, uh, we
Oh
got
my
a
gosh.
really big show.
A really big
We
shoe. A
got
really
our
big
topic
shoe.
for tonight is Mandalorian, Mandalorian,
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Bing, 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 bing,
Ding
bing,
ding ding
bing.
ding 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 ding.
See, you
Yeah,
dressed for the occasion. You wore your Star
I
Wars
went.
shirt.
Yes,
I've got my Kermit shirt on, so
it's okay.
I failed. Epic fail on my part.
Pigs in space.
Pigs in
In space.
space. Do you remember when Mark Hamill uh, was on the Muppet Show and he was in the episode of Pigs in Space?
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember the holiday special.
No, we're not going to talk about the holiday special.
Yeah,
the holiday special does not exist.
Does not exist. It's not
No,
part of the canon.
since he was just born there.
Yes, it's not. It's not part of the canon, is it?
It is not. It's not part of my canon.
That's right. That's right. So we got Kermit is never fail.
Tiffany, the podcast wife, she loves Kermit.
Yes, which she reminds me every day that she loves Kermit. I say, "Do you love me?" She says, "I love Kermit." So I don't know how we bring that up in counseling, but that's what we do. So anyway, we're going to talk about Baby Yoda. Well, Mandalorian is coming out in, is it in the fall?
In the fall, October, I think.
That's right.
October, I believe, yeah.
But can you believe they have already started season 3? So it means 2 is done.
Yeah, 2 is supposedly pretty close to done or done, and they've already started writing at least getting some basic outlines for season 3.
Well, we thought about it'd be cool to go through all the articles. A lot of our articles coming from Screen Rant and Cineblend. So between those two, we did kudos out there too.
Love those guys.
Yeah, really good stuff. Unlike the others.
But before we get started,
yes, go ahead.
We probably should do some stupid news.
Always, let's do some stupid news.
People love some
and hang on. This is stupid news is a segment we do every week, and then we get right to the Force. So anyway, let's go ahead and do this thing, my friend.
All right, let's do it.
And are we ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you hit the button.
All right, let's do it.
This is the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Well, I am the man that,
You are fake news.
No, we're not, sir. We are not fake news. We are the real news.
We are the real news. We are
the real news. Yes,
we are
sir.
Real news. We're just really lame news.
Lame news. Well, let's start off with one that I find very, I really like. It's the, let's go with my friend the groundhog.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yes. Apparently, apparently everyone loves pizza. I love pizza. Animals love pizza. But
had pizza for dinner. We ordered pizza. By the way, before we talk about pizza, so we're in this world of quarantine and weirdness.
Yes.
So my pizza place now they will only do contactless delivery.
How do you go about doing that?
Well, you have to pay online.
Okay.
You have to give them instructions on where to place the pizza at your door.
Oh yeah?
And what to do. So I said, leave the pizza on the bench and make sure the doorbell actually rings.
Yes.
Because our doorbell's weird and sometimes it doesn't ring.
Yeah.
But so my daughter went to go get the pizza.
Yeah.
So when the doorbell rang, she opens it up and she came back in and she said, yeah, he walked back to his car and he stood outside the car until he saw me pick up the pizza and take it inside, and then he left.
That's pretty smart.
So he stayed there to make sure no one stole our pizza.
Well, this kind of ties in with the story here, because because of quarantine, a lot of people are having pizza delivered, and sometimes you'll have some either individual kids and sometimes little furry friends show up and partake. This is the footage. Of course, the footage that we have here, we have to do it in clips because they'll shut us down.
Yeah, they won't let us show the real videos.
We had that happen to us one time, and anyway, but there's footage of a groundhog eating a slice of pizza that was swiped from.
Is that him right there?
That's him right there. He's eating a slice of pizza recently. It was uploaded to social media. In the footage, it's a seemingly wild animal that was calmly eating. It's calmly eating and also standing directly in front of the lady's glass door, looking at the dogs. Apparently, he was not disturbed. Apparently, he didn't have an issue with eating in front of the dogs. The dogs, you can tell, a little bit jealous. Christian
That is awesome.
Christian Bagnell uploaded the footage to Facebook, where it's garnered at least 76,000 views. It's been shared over 2,000 times. Again, the footage showed the groundhog calmly eating the pizza while sitting just outside of her home in Philadelphia. At one point during the footage, Bagnell's dogs approached the door, but the groundhog either didn't see him or he didn't care. Apparently, and now because of this, they call them Philly Pizza. Anyway, so anyway, down below Pizza Hut, they announced several changes in respective to what happened. For now on, what they're going to do, they're going to provide a seal on the box. The brand has also announced they'll put a tamper-proof seal, safety seal, in the box, and we'll ensure
I've seen the commercials for that.
So maybe it's because of our good friend Philly the Pizza. I don't know.
Hey, I'm going to put this on screen. We may have to unmute ourselves. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Yes. You're right.
That's awesome. That is a bit disturbing and awesome.
Hey, groundhogs
got to eat.
You got to eat too.
That's absolutely true.
That is absolutely right. That is awesome. That is so awesome.
I love that story. That is.
Yeah, I mean,
that is like one of the best stupid news stories we've ever done. I
now don't get your hopes up. Don't get your hopes up.
I mean, it didn't involve a Florida man. It didn't involve meth or pot. I mean, that was a great little stupid news story.
Was any bodily fluids?
No bodily fluids in the microwave at 7-Eleven.
No, none of that. So
none of that.
Oh, and I did pretty good this time. So
it's a quality picture.
Quality picture there. That's right. Hey, that's right. And hello, Benjamin Rodriguez, Mr. Rodriguez. And now I want some.
Your wife wants some pizza now.
Well, I can't do anything about that right now. But
Terrence says he is super hooked on the show. Terrence, we're super hooked on our audience. We appreciate.
I think he's talking about Mandalorian. I don't think he's talking about us. I know. I just want to make. I just want to make sure you. Oh man, that was yes. Yeah.
Oh man. Well.
Hey. I mean, yeah.
I got to take the compliments where I can get them, man. I
just want to.
Even if they're not really compliments.
We'll do it on a promo where we say Terrence says he's super
hooked.
But we won't mention he's talking about Mandalorian because
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Vague comments are amazing. I love vague comments. All right, so what else you got other than pizza eating gophers?
Okay, well, you know what?
Now that would be something if you had pizza eating a gopher.
People are stocking up on non-perishables, and then sometimes you look in the house and you find non-perishables from a while back. And I mean, I don't know how long ago. Have you ever looked for cans of unperishables, green beans, something like that? About how far back sometimes you'll find something.
Oh yeah, we have this pantry that it's you open the door and it goes straight back.
Yeah,
but then because of the way the wall to the living room is, there's this slanted wall. Hey, he was talking about us.
Yes.
Hey,
we have low self-esteem, so thank you. But thank you very much.
So we got this pantry. So there's this slanted area hooked on stupid news.
David.
Hey, David. So you can't reach. If this is all full, you actually can't get back there.
Yeah.
To this weird you got to reach around the wall to get back there.
Is that kind of like on Indiana Jones when he has to put his hand through that stone, the hole in the stone, and he doesn't know what's on the other side?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
It's a little like that. So my daughter constantly finds old stuff. She's like, this is expired. I'm throwing it away. And it's never been opened.
Well, I mean, the thing is, and I can understand that because sometimes I think expiration is a joke, but I think in this situation is a little bit different.
Okay.
Apparently, Like a lot of people are stocking up on canned goods because of all that's going on.
Right.
And, in many cans, they do have a shelf life, but 25 years is likely a little bit too long.
Probably.
Yes, apparently, 25 years ago, a man got hold of his Spider-Man Chef Boyardee. That's right, from 25 years ago in 1995. That's
Wow.
1995. So he thought he would experiment and see, well, is it still good or not? So he opened up the can, and well, you'll see in the next photo what we find out.
That is a rusty looking
That's a rusty
can.
can. Yet the process of opening the can, it was documented. He documented each step of the way.
Oh.
His Twitter handle is Dinosaur Dracula, showing off photos of the can being open. Along with the photos, he wrote, "I put the can opener to work and settled the rust, embodied by the lack of noxious fumes." Look at
Oh.
that right there. Isn't that tempting?
Oh.
I want to put that in a microwave, huh?
Oh.
Mmm. Mmm. Yes.
25-year-old SpaghettiOs.
Oh, that's right. And
Oh.
if that wasn't it, let's go to the next one, my friend.
Hold on. You. Hey, Kim. Good to have you watching.
Thank you, Kim.
Lots of ews.
It's a ooh,
Should have kept the can closed. All right. So what do we have next? Oh, all right. Here we go.
That's what came out of the can.
Ugh.
And can you believe that's your SpaghettiOs right there, your Chef
Are,
Boyardee.
that is nasty. Are those meatballs on top?
You know,
Are those
Oh,
holes?
that's nasty.
yes, it is. And
Are those holes in the side?
Yeah,
Are
there's
those like the
holes.
noodles?
yeah, it looks like a beehive, like for really
Oh,
angry beeves. Look at
that
that.
is
Oh
disgusting.
man, when you can like put a candle wick in there and make a candle scent, that'd be kind of nice. But on the next one, he says, but he also said that he could tell one of the noodles was
What?
shaped like Spider-Man.
He could still. Oh, what? You could
I
still
mean,
kind of see one noodle.
yeah, I don't, but I think it
It's
could be, anything. Like
maybe you
people.
turn your head just right.
I mean, if you like you would do on like you see people on eBay selling toast that looks like the Virgin Mary. Maybe you
Yeah,
could do like this on that. Wow, that's. Oh man, that is
that's
something else.
pretty
That's,
gnarly. That's crazy.
but anyway, I don't know if there's any more on there, but
Yeah, that's the last
basically
one.
that's it. Yeah, and I think that's all anybody wants to see. Um, but you know what? Hey, that's Kim Faleka. Hello, Kim. I didn't hear anything back, so I guess I forget only you and me we can hear each other. So my next one,
Yeah.
well, we're going back to the norm. So yeah, I'm
So
sorry about
it's
that.
either a
So
Florida man
yeah,
or it's drugs or
yes.
it's bodily excretions.
Okay. Well, let's say it's Waco, Texas.
Okay, it's not
Okay.
Florida man.
Okay.
It's
So
not Florida man. Okay.
let's I'll get started. Waco, Texas. Daniel Johns said he woke up every morning and find crap all over his house, literally crap on the
Wait,
floors, on the
crap. Like
no,
people threw mud and stuff on his or trash and
uh,
like
basically feces. Yes, he woke up every morning to find feces all over his house, on the floors, on the bed, in the closet, even in his shoes.
What? Wait, inside the house?
Inside
I
the
thought you
house.
were talking about outside the
Oh no,
house.
no, all over the house, inside the house.
Poop
Now
in the house.
in the house. He first blamed the raccoons, but after he set up a surveillance camera, he discovered a ghost was the culprit.
I don't think that's the right ghost.
Oh, sorry, that was my handiwork. I didn't. No, I think it's the next one. I think it's the next one. So anyway, that's what he saw in his garage inside, and but he took a special. I guess it was a night cam. He took a picture of, and Apparently, that is a ghost that he
That is
said.
a
Yes.
ghost.
Yeah, he said
It's a very,
that.
very small ghost.
Yes, and he said on the surveillance camera he discovered a ghost was the culprit. He said he just saw an orb, an orb form ghost, something like that. He said moving its bowels in the dining room. he said moving its bowels in the dining room. He said what's puzzling me, John said, is that ghosts don't eat. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. What's puzzling me, John said that the ghost does not eat. So how can a ghost makes poop? And that makes good sense to me.
That does make
I mean,
sense.
they have a clear liquid diet, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
I mean, the documentary Ghostbusters proved that.
That's right.
You know, it showed they showed that one ghost eating all that stuff from the buffet, and it just like fell on the floor.
Okay, I'm going to read this quote. I'm going to read this quote from John. Okay, imagine this, because this guy already has some issues. Okay, so what's puzzling me is that ghosts don't eat. So how can a ghost make poop? But this bastard goes number 2 everywhere, and it smells like nothing I've ever smelt before. So I have to wear a gas mask in my house. That was my impersonation of John. He said the worst of it is that he awoke one morning and found the word poop written on his garage wall.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah, John said he written to Ghost Hunters TV show for help, but he did not receive a reply. So, yeah, he said, I can't live this way. The smells often makes me vomit. I spend half of every day cleaning up ghost poop. I've asked God to help stop it. I ask anybody who reads this to help me pray against this ghost taking a crap in my house. And that's how he ends the article. So
Terrence thinks he's sleepwalking.
He could be.
He could be.
And so does that mean that he is doing it?
Yeah, that's what Terrence thinks. I don't know. I'm not a ghost guy. And I think if you called ghost hunters, and they turned you down, there might be something going on there.
Oh, that's nasty.
Now, I will say this though. For those of you who don't know, when this show ends, as soon as it ends, if you click on our video section of our Facebook page, you're going to see the thumbnail for this video. I bet.
And the ghost with the food.
Facebook just randomly picks stuff.
That's right.
It just randomly picks stuff. I'm going to go with it's going to be this one. I'm betting that's going to be the thumbnail tonight.
That's right.
It could be this one. If it was this one, I think that would be funny. Yes, but it's going to be this one.
Here. Yes, I think that's more our style right there. I think
that
Facebook
will be
already
the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So just so you know, we don't pick our own thumbnails initially on Facebook.
No, we try
to replace them.
Yes.
At some point. I believe in the Holy Ghost. Okay. Thank you, Benjamin.
Yes, but he's a lot more polite than that.
He is.
So
hopefully he's not a pooping ghost. Melissa, I sleep, eat, sleep, poo.
Oh. How do you tell a doctor that?
I don't know.
Tell the doctor, I said, Doc, I can't help it. I poop in my sleep. Oh, you do? No, I do it in my neighbor's bed. So, yes, that was good.
I was going to say, the biggest issue here isn't that if he sleeps and poops. Because lots of people sleep and poop. Now, they're usually old or really sick.
Okay, get ready to say. Give me some clarification.
I'm not saying I do. No, I'm just saying,
that's what they always
old
say.
people or really sick people, they sleep and they poop at the same time. Yeah. That's not unusual.
No, it's not.
Sleeping and pooping and putting it on your hand and writing the word poop on your garage wall. Now, that's weird.
Well, I'm glad we have a definition of weird on that. Well, I think we're going to end the stupid news on that. I think I ended it.
I think it's pooped out.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
That's my obligatory dad joke for the day.
All right, here we go.
This has been the Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Shilley.
You knew we couldn't go that long without poop.
I know. I knew there was going to be bodily excretions
Because I'd say, the first story was really nice. Yeah. Poop talk is great. I totally agree with you. Nothing's more funnier than poop.
That's what some say. Some say. Some believe.
Yeah, poop's funny.
Some believe that.
Yes. I don't know where we go with this after that, but
well,
but anyway.
Let's go to a show that's not poop. How about that?
Oh man,
there is a show that is not poop.
One of the most biggest surprise shows. I mean, I knew it was going to be good. It's the only reason I got Disney Plus was The Mandalorian.
The only reason a lot of people got Disney Plus and immediately canceled it
afterwards,
a couple months later.
I have a feeling that is why Disney is trying to crank this thing out. We've read from the information I read on the internets. They're working already working on the third season. Is that crazy or what?
I saw that.
So that means 2 is done. That means 2 is done. So
Mandalorian season 3 already in development.
Isn't that something?
So development. So does that mean that Favreau is writing scripts, or does it mean that they're just like planning the overarching, like the arc, the story?
I'm sure it's pre-production stuff, especially with lots going on right now with everyone being separated and quarantined. I mean, that sounds like it to me. But I mean,
now this particular article, it said something interesting. There's other Disney properties that are being worked on for Disney Plus. Not other Star Wars properties, but other characters, like the Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But the article says that all the other ones are only going to be miniseries, not seasonal. So, like, they're saying Obi-Wan is going to be a one-off. Like, it'll be however many episodes. So I'm just picking a number out of the air. It's going to be 6 episodes, but that's it.
That's
6 and done.
No series after that. No series.
Now, it could be that they have to do that because they're trying to get Ian McGregor to play Obi-Wan.
Which I think he would be. I mean, he would be the perfect one. It'd be kind of weird if he wasn't.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it would be like the other Duke boys at the end of the final finale. I mean, he replaced Bewitched, So, yes, exactly.
Exactly. They did get it right.
Yeah, they did. They really did. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm
working my way through Clone Wars right now.
I've done that too, Melissa. Because there's so much. I'm gonna close that here. You go ahead and do that.
I got it.
Melissa, I've been doing the same thing. I've been trying to get into the lore so much in the canon, which is kind of hard because I know with the new Disney, a lot of the old canon has kind of been forgotten or just pushed to the side. But what's funny,
all the books and all the. Yeah.
But it's funny because they're kind of dabbling back on a few and then pulling them in. Kind of like with, Thawne, Admiral Thawne, who I love. But
the Zahn books. Yeah.
Thawne books. But the deal is, what I was getting back to, I've been watching the last season of Clone Wars. I've been watching Rebel because all this stuff is filler. I mean, I didn't realize how much all this filler is actually within that universe. So I've been watching it, and then of course, Mandalorian, it is in the New Republic, right after Jedi, it's trying to, get the government going again.
Yep.
And so, and of course later on the New Order comes up.
Right. But is it really the Mandalorian?
Is it really the Mandalorian? Well, I mean,
I mean, it's the Baby Yoda show. Let's be honest. Oh, are you there, Mike? It's possible you're there. Hey guys, if Mike
That's
is
true. Oh no! Can you hear me?
Are you there now?
I'm there. Are you there?
I can hear you, but
You
I'm
don't see
waiting.
me?
I'm waiting for your face to catch up.
Well, that's probably I'm getting a little bit from our broadcasting StreamYard, who we use for our simulcast.
Yep. I don't
So
know if it's your end or my end, but
that's what she said. But anyway,
oh,
I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. Okay, all right. So anyway, am I? Do you see my face by any chance?
I do. And what's really
Okay.
weird is it's highly likely that when this is all done,
Yeah.
you look fine and I look fine on the replay.
My wife always says we look fine afterwards. That's right. So
Yeah, I'm
back
not doing that again.
Yeah, I don't know. Where did I leave off at?
Well, I just said, is it really the Mandalorian or is it Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
And then you froze as far as
And I froze
as far as
everything.
I know. So
I agree. Rebels is really good, and I like
Yep.
how Melissa. I like how they bring in some of the New Hope. You know, some of the characters from New
Yep.
Hope, Princess Leia. I mean, they slowly introduce them. Wedge. They even had Wedge on there, who was like, remember Wedge? He was an X-wing
Yep.
fighter who knew Luke. He had a very small bit, and
Right.
Of course, if you, I mean, of course, if you're a Star Wars fan, you already seen the previous movie where I know I got real excited when they were coming to attack, and
Yeah.
Mando brings a fleet, a variety of ships in, and there's Wedge. His one line is, "Let's get him, Lando," and that was his line for the whole movie. But
Yeah.
it gave me chills because it was like, oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting him. So
Yeah.
and I got goosebumps now just thinking about it. So I
Yeah.
like how they paid homage to bringing a few characters back, even if the characters like were bit players. So I thought
Yeah.
that was really good. So, but what do you think? And then when because there is a lot of unanswered questions in Mandalorian, and there's a couple of them.
Yeah. There are definitely a lot of questions out there, and I don't know where we want to go from here, but like I like how it's working so far.
I do too.
I am highly disappointed that at the end, spoilers, at the end of season 1,
Yeah.
he is basically alone with the child again. I was really hoping.
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I was hyped at when we were getting close. I was like, man, this is going to be there's going to be 5 or 6 characters. They're all going to hop in a ship together and be a team for next season, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we were looking at like the Han Solo, Millennium Falcon crew kind of. I know that's what.
Firefly kind
and
of.
Who
idea.
knows? They may go that. I mean, they may all come back together because it's a great cast.
They can't because 2 of them are dead.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have spoken. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
and then
the IG-11 is dead.
Yeah,
those were great characters.
Yeah,
they would have been great. They would have been great guys to like. All right, you guys stay here and watch the ship while me and the girl go beat things up.
Well, I mean, you have the one guy, and I forget what race he was. He was a slave to the Empire,
right?
And so he would be the ship mechanic. You got the other character, and I wish I knew her name because she's is she a
she's a previous what her real name is? I was gonna say she was in the show. She was a previous. Didn't she desert the Empire? Wasn't that the idea?
Yeah. She left because she was a shock trooper.
Yeah.
And they're mainly what they were doing after the war. They were
Gina Carano.
Yeah, I think she's a former MMA or wrestler. I
Oh,
mean, yeah. So, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm the same way.
former MMA.
MMA. Yeah. I don't know. What
Yeah,
What do you think?
she was in Strike Force and Elite
Yeah.
XC. Those are like that's like the a couple of tiers down below the
Yeah.
UFC. Before, and even I think some of those were even before UFC launched.
Yeah. Exactly. We Anybody out there, please comment on the final episode. Like I said, I loved it. I think
Yeah,
I loved. I even loved the ending. The only part I really, really wish that somehow the crew, somehow he
yeah.
would have a crew. I mean,
I think it
even
would have been great, you know.
yeah.
But I get it.
They can bring that back in. But anyway, that's the other thing they're talking about, trying to take him home. And where is home?
Yeah,
I mean, where is home? I mean, is it? I mean, any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Well, I mean, the movies imply a Dagobah is not
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I mean, for the longest time, Yoda was the only one of his kind we saw until the
Hmm.
prequels. And then in one prequel, or one or two, you briefly saw a female one
Yeah,
on the Jedi Council off to one
yeah,
side.
yeah,
And that's it. We don't even have a name for the species yet.
yeah. I know.
So
Well,
I
the
don't
only
know
one, yeah, up
where are
till
you going to say
now, I
they're going to come
mean,
from?
yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where and there's all kinds of rumors that maybe Baby Yoda's from actual Yoda. I mean, I've heard all kinds of rumors.
Yeah, Yoda and the female Yoda got busy, and now we
Got
have.
busy. He used the Force, and now they have Baby Yoda. And you know,
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe they
No.
spontaneously generate when one dies, another one just appears.
But a lot of things, a lot of loose ends, which is good. I mean, on
Yeah,
purpose. But and why do the Empire want Baby Yoda? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because I think part of it may be DNA cloning. Uh, I mean, the child has the Force, has something,
yeah,
and
I, yeah. I don't know. I'm not. This is one of those I don't even know. I have a good speculation. All these questions will be answered. I doubt it. my
maybe
my
some of them, because they want to
maybe
hook us
some
on
of them.
three.
Maybe
They want
some
us
of
to
them.
see three. But I think
I
some of it, yeah.
my bet is not much will be answered. Terrence thinks he's a clone.
Oh, that's a possibility. I mean,
It's a possibility. We've seen the idea of cloning technology in the Star Wars canon at this point. It's hard to
what do
tell.
you what would you think? You think he would be a clone of a DNA from actual Yoda himself? And
If
they're
he's a
wanting
clone, that would make sense.
and they're running a tap, and the Empire wants to tap into that DNA because make
Melissa thinks he's a clone too.
yeah. Well, I mean that makes some sense because
Yeah,
why would the doctor on there? His name was Pursing. Anyway, the doctor on there, he wanted to get samples from the
right,
baby, but at the same time, the guy who hired the bounty hunter, he didn't really care whether the baby was alive or not. So
right,
I'm kind of wondering what the dynamics is. I mean, Doctor Doctor Pursing collected Baby Yoda.
right.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say that's a big open question, as to where he came from.
yeah,
I'm not fond. I'm not fond of the cloning idea. Does it work? Does it make sense? Absolutely.
yeah,
I just don't like it. If we want to go to another theory, because all these are theories, nobody
yeah,
really knows
exactly.
except for Favreau, maybe,
Yeah,
if he's even made a decision. Like if they don't let us know in season 2,
yeah,
Maybe he hasn't decided yet.
That could be. That could be.
So, if we want to talk about theories, we can talk about, the other theory that you and I started talking about just briefly beforehand
Yeah.
that I said I'm not a fan of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
you
you're
know,
talking about
yeah, the Boba Fett theory.
Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett theory.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is this the
yeah, yeah. That's it right there.
whose boots
Apparently,
were shown on Tatooine?
yeah, yes, and he was going to kill the assassin that was played by what's her name, Ming. She
Yeah.
was Agents of Shield,
Yeah.
and she played the assassin, and all you saw was the boots, and you heard this distinctive kind of a clanking, which usually they're saying is associated with Boba Fett. And so a lot of them thinks Boba Fett may become the villain, the Mandalorian villain. But then, then you have to say, okay, well, how? Okay, how did he get? He was killed and
How
returned.
did he survive the Sarlacc? What?
But there have been some writing and saying that he somehow escaped.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
how,
I don't
but is that,
I don't like that theory.
yeah.
I think now I will say originally the rumor was that there was going to be a Boba Fett,
Yeah,
an entire race of Yodas. Yeah,
that would be cool.
That would be
They could
funny
beat
and
the crap
cute.
out of the Ewoks.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah,
So there was originally the discussion was, hey, there's going to be a Boba Fett movie or series,
yeah,
and that turned into Mandalorian.
yeah,
So it wasn't really about Boba Fett. It isn't about Boba Fett. It's about this particular guy and the Mandalorian culture, which if you look at everything that they talk about Boba Fett and Jango Fett,
yeah,
they were never Mandalorian. He just had the outfit. So I don't know. I think it's a stretch. I don't like the idea.
yeah.
I think the current character is a better character.
Oh, I believe. Yeah,
It's a stronger character. As far as I'm concerned, you could just leave Boba Fett out of it completely, and it wouldn't bother me one bit.
yeah. I mean, Moff Gideon is the perfect villain.
Yes.
And this guy he played in. Oh, not What About Saul, but he played in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And great actor, and so he makes a great villain.
Yes. And we already have so we've already got a new villain.
Yeah,
We have that they basically fully introduce at the end of the series.
yeah.
He has an amazing weapon that has a lore in the clone. Is it the Clone Wars or Rebels?
It's actually in the Clone Wars, and we're going to talk about that because that originally was part of in the Jedi Temple, and a Mandalorian stole it, so it's been passed down from the Mandalorian lineage.
Right. It wasn't the idea that whoever wielded that sword was the leader at the time.
Yeah. Well, if you go to yes, you get that's interesting, and that's a good reason because, and I don't know.
Yeah.
The guy in the Clone Wars, the name is the character, and I'm going to slaughter the name. Karai's, Korkai Karai's. He's a Mandalorian on the planet Mandalorian, and he was part of what they call the Death Watch, which basically it was the Mandalorians who wanted to go back to the old ways, because at that time the Mandalorians were were trying to go be more of a peaceful pacifist type of thing, but and so the thing is, and this is another mystery question for me, how did it get to the hands how did it get to his hands? How did it get to?
And now that's something I really hope they explore.
Yeah.
And I really hope they explain. I think that'll make for some interesting conversations.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a great thing about watching. I mean, people go, "Oh, the animated series or cartoons." No,
Yeah.
it will give you such a little fill in the gap, and so
Yeah.
well, I mean, the other thing too, it's funny because not funny, but I'm really excited because they have the capability to bring in Star Wars characters from the animated series into Mandalorian, and they're doing that with Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah.
Ahsoka Tano. And Ahsoka Tano is going to be played by Rosario Dawson.
Yep.
And which she is perfect for the role. I mean, she's played in
she'll be great.
Yeah, she played in Netflix on the Marvel series, The Punisher. She played a nurse. I mean, she played the nurse in Daredevil. I mean, she's always played that character, but she was begging to play this part, and
it's a little freaky how much she looks like the
cartoon
character.
I know it.
It's a little disturbing how close it is. Same lips, similar nose, similar eyebrow structure.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
Yes, like in flashbacks. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I want to see the same thing. I mean, I'm real excited how the possibility now already they're talking about, like I said, Tano is going to be playing in it.
Oh, now this is something we have not.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think this is anywhere. This is just me because I spout off ideas from time to time.
Oh, we know that.
And they never.
No, I meant that as. I mean, yeah, we know that. I mean, we know that.
I spout off crazy ideas that no one will ever do. Yeah. But so, what if you take her, you introduce her in Mandalorian 2, second season. Let her be a part, 3, 4.
I think so too.
3, 4 episodes of the show. Toward the end. At the end, you break off, and she becomes her own show.
They were talking about it again.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, it was. But again, I think it was one of those.
This would be great if it happened, but nobody's talking about it.
But I think if Disney was smart enough, they would.
Yeah.
It's trying to cross that bridge.
Yep.
Because at this time,
dude, it's perfect for Disney.
Yes.
Because it's number one, it's Star Wars, so they have all the rights; they can do it. It's a female. It would be a female-led show, which would get huge publicity and bonus points. Which is something Disney likes doing things. Sometimes I think Disney likes doing things just to get the publicity for it. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, I sometimes think they just stick things in because, hey, we'll get a whole bunch of write-ups because we put this one thing in there. Well, I think you spin her off into her own show, it could be great.
In the beginning, Ahsoka, when the first came out in the Clone Wars, she kind of got on my nerves, but now she is like one of my favorites, especially later on in the Clone Wars. She appeared in Rebels.
Yeah.
And at that point, she was a full-blown Jedi, and she was facing, she faced her master, Anakin, but he was Vader at the time.
Yeah.
And I know it's crazy. She was, exactly. She should have been in the movie. I love that. But see, so anyway, during this timeline, because again, this is the Republic, the Republic, the New Republic, right. It's fledgling. It's just after, there's still fractions of the Empire, Admiral Thrawn.
Right.
Thrawn.
Thrawn. I never was positive. I always pronounced it Thrawn.
Because I want to say Tron.
Tron. Now there's a good movie.
Which I love the books, but that character is fascinating. So they talked about how he could be introduced to it because he was a big player in the New Republic.
Yes.
I don't. So anyway,
I always wanted to see those movies be made.
Yeah. So, But at this time, she is a full-fledged Jedi, and they talked about her being on the show, especially to connect with the child. And that was the main reason they're putting her in the show. Has to do with some type of Jedi. Exactly, isn't it? Exactly. It had something to do with the child. She's a Jedi.
Yeah.
At this time, Luke Skywalker, he's still there. He's a Jedi. He's a master.
Right.
He's trying to train new Jedis. So all this stuff is happening in the background. All this stuff in Mandalorian is happening.
Right.
And so I think she'll come in, and I don't know if she's going to try to mentor or try to help the young child with the Force, because he has the Force. He has something.
That could be interesting.
So,
if she is considered a full Jedi at that point, train the child.
Yeah, exactly.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah. Because there has to be a reason for her to come, and of course it has to be the child.
Well, is it the child, or is it going to be the Darksaber? Are they just bringing her in to be a foil to another saber user?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, the dark saber has basically ended the lives of a lot of Jedis.
Right.
And that's kind of part of the lore of it.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
I really look forward to it. I'm hoping that they introduce more characters as time goes on, but I think they're going to do a good job. I really.
Here's hoping they don't kill a bunch of people off this time.
Exactly.
They're going to bring her on and then kill her off.
Yeah, I don't want that.
I don't want that either. That would be horrible.
That would be cruel. We don't need.
That would be worse than not giving her own show.
We don't need. Okay, Harrison Ford. He doesn't want to play it anymore. There you go. He's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of why I wonder if that's part of the reason they killed off IG-11. It's because Taika Waititi signed on for doing a couple of shows, but he wasn't interested in continuing it.
Before I forget, introducing animated characters, I just read this. Let me see here. Came out on the 26th that the actor who plays Captain Rex is rumored to be in season 2.
Captain Rex.
He was a Republic trooper, not a stormtrooper.
Okay.
It's the one where you can see. It says the Mandalorian director sparks Captain Rex in season 2 rumors.
Okay.
Yeah, there's rumors on it, but there's a lot of talk in the studios in the background, and I think it'd be great if they could bring in Rex, who is one of the Clone War guys, and Rex is, he was one of the guys in several.
I know who you're. Sorry, I'm caught up now. For a moment, I thought we were talking about a character from a different show.
Oh, sorry.
And I'm caught up now. I'm a little slow on the uptake there.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Captain Rex, yes, because he was one of the clone troopers. His guys, he was the one who served under Anakin, and Obi-Wan during the Clone Wars, and they even, as they were older, they also were in the show The Rebels, but. The thing about them, they volunteered to they figured out where the chip was at. And there was a chip that was embedded in them to go Order 66. And so they were able to take the chip off because they no longer, it was the Empire, it wasn't the Republic, and they didn't want to serve the Republic. The Empire.
Right.
So I think that's really interesting. I think it's a great show. Yes, Rex is a great character. And I love that they can introduce these characters and give them a live role, a real role.
And the best part about bringing in an animated character into your live action show is they had a look on the animated show.
Yeah, they did.
But you know when a real actor shows up, it's not going to be exactly the same.
I know.
But it's different than saying we want Luke Skywalker to show up.
Yeah.
Well, there's a problem there.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Luke is a certain age, and we know exactly who the actor is. It'd be a little hard. You could do the Han Solo movie thing where you pick an actor that you think will do all right. We're not going to go into that. We're not talking about the Han Solo movie.
Solo, please.
But you could do that, to bring in a Luke Skywalker, some other character. But I don't think it will be as good or as powerful as bringing in a new actor to an animated character that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
I think that'll be great.
Well, I mean, another character too, and this was it was on April 26th too, and this came out for season 2. The voice actor from the Clone Wars who played Darth Maul, he's the voice actor. He was talking about how season 2 is going to blow people's away mind, and he was talking about it, and I'm thinking, whoa, is that And if you
I read something about there was some mix up.
You think
like
so?
there was a rumor that Maul was going to be in the first season, but I read something that said there was a problem, like scheduling problem or some mix up where the actor wasn't available when he was supposed to be available, and they had to pull that whole idea.
Yeah, the actor's name is Sam, and I'm going to ruin the last name, Sam Witwer. It's Witwer, that W in the middle. That sounds like, German, Weiser. Yeah. He teases about Mandalorian too. And, of course, he did the character voice acting for the game Star Wars, The Force Unleashed. He, of course, also including Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Star Wars Rebel.
Yeah.
He does that voice. And if you look at him, he would, and I don't know if you have a photo of him or not on there. Should be the one with him, Mandalorian. That's him right there.
Okay, yeah.
I could see him playing the part. He's slender. He has that look about him. I think he could play Darth Maul. Yeah, I don't think you have to have the same guy who played Darth Maul, in Phantom Menace. I mean, that's kind of a different type of character. I mean, it's not like a Luke Skywalker or Han Solo or a Princess Leia. So I think he could play that. But anyway, yeah. So that would be interesting. Again, I'm still watching the Rebels. I hadn't finished that up. So I know that Darth Maul plays an important part in that. So I'd be interested to see how it ends, to be able to see, okay, well, where the transition is going to be from the Rebel, because don't forget, the Rebel is before New Hope.
Right.
Mandalorian is after Return of the Jedi. So that would be interesting there. But again, here's another example, and I think it's going to happen. I think it's interesting. You have these characters, you have these actors, just out of the blue, talking about how season 2 is going to be great. Like the voice actor who plays Darth Maul. Well, why would you think he'll show up on there? So I mean,
yeah.
So anyway, blah blah. But that man, it looks good. It looks like there's. I'm hoping a lot of these rumors come to play. I know, not Boba Fett. Bubba Fett. He's the cousin in Arkansas.
Boba Fett's from Star Wars.
He's from the Outer Rim. We don't talk about him. We don't talk about Boba Fett. Yeah, we don't talk to the
That's funny.
The Outlanders. But yeah, so. But the guy that I'm really interested in is. And I'm going to pull this article up.
Okay, which?
Yes, it's Gideon, Moff Gideon.
Oh, okay.
And there's some stuff with him that he I haven't seen a good villain in a long time, and I think this guy really has what it takes. I mean, he
Yeah.
played a great villain. I mean, if you hear the guy in person, I mean, on a show, I mean, he's nothing like the characters you play. I mean, he's just really a nice guy.
Yeah.
And but if you look at, I mean, there's several things, and they had a top 10 on it. One of the questions says, well, how evil is he really? And I guess, well, that's kind of a dumb question, but I think it leads to, is there any redemptive quality about him? You think he, I mean, I don't know. Is there any, you think there's any redeeming qualities that could happen later? Or,
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't see. I think this could be a character that either, we introduce mildly and is then like the guy in the background. I think he won't be. I think he'll be right out in the middle of everything. Too many characters will overshadow the main character. That's an issue. That's a
that
big.
could be. That's a really
big
good
question mark.
Yeah,
when
that's a
when I
really
thought they
good.
were going to turn it into when I thought they were going to turn it into the kind of show where there was a group cast,
Yeah.
so that the character became the group.
Mhm.
I thought that could be good,
Yeah.
but they ditched all that for sure. But if they do the same thing they did this season,
Yeah.
like if everybody's just washed away and we
Yeah.
just bring in, okay, it's a whole new group of people this time, and we're going to wash them away at the end of 2. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that idea, but that may be kind of the way Favreau wants to do it. Bringing in too many people could be an issue.
Because you don't want it to be campy. You
Yes,
start bringing in too many characters.
But-
it's almost like, okay, this is too much of a trope.
yeah, and you don't want. I don't want to see it become Freak of the Week.
I don't.
You know what I
even-
mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like, the Moff is the bad guy for the arc,
Yeah.
and he sends his minion of the week.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even if they're big characters from other shows that we're introducing, I'd rather you introduce 2 or 3 really good characters and utilize them than to go, here's my minion of the week going to hunt down the Mandalorian. Oh, he died. Here's my new minion of the week. I don't think that's a good. That's good for a TV show that has to do 24 episodes in a year. 12 episodes a season, or well, no, it's more than that. What is it? 22 now. Most sitcoms are 22 in a season.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
That's I get that.
Yeah.
But for something like this, that you can really tell a story arc.
Yeah.
This is more like a 6-hour or 7-hour movie.
Yeah. Well, I have 2 more questions. It makes me, on Gideon. It's one, who does he work for?
Who do you work for? See, is he the boss? Is he the big bad, or is there another big bad?
Because I thought that was the case with the guy who was hiring. I can't remember his name. The German actor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you found out later it's not him. Yeah.
Yeah, you find out he's not the big bad. Simply because he's holding the Darksaber, I feel like he will be the big bad.
Okay, let me ask you this: Do you think he has the Force?
I'm going to go with no.
Okay, I just,
that's my bet. What do you think?
That out there. I think I like the idea of him not having the Force because that's too easy.
Yes, I do too.
I like the idea of him being a resourceful villain, kind of like Admiral Thrawn, cunning, a tactician, strategy.
Hey,
Hello,
Whitney.
Whitney.
Whitney has been busy sewing lots and lots of masks.
That's awesome.
For people.
Yeah.
Appreciate your good work, Whitney.
So I think if he had the Force, I don't know why, it just seems like lazy writing to me. I would kind of hope that's not the case.
I hope he doesn't. Now this idea is kind of interesting. the idea that he doesn't, but he wants it.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I mean,
Now, I don't know if that's even a thing. But I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I think that's an interesting idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you know what? That makes sense. They're gonna, because maybe they think they extract the force from Baby Yoda. Maybe that is some kind of value there because he didn't care whether the baby died or not.
Now
So
that's interesting. That could be an interesting take.
Maybe a commodity that somehow they're trying to figure out how they can. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but how can they?
We have to say midichlorians.
I don't want to say that word. Don't say the word. Oh,
you have to say midichlorians now
do we have to,
of what you just said.
Do not want to end the show on that. Oh my God, no! Please.
Well, if you don't want to end
the last episode we ever do,
if you don't want to end the show on midichlorians, then I do have something that's not Star Wars related we could end with. Okay, but the idea of extracting it, midichlorians. You started the conversation.
I know, and as I was saying it, I thought this sounds too much like, oh no. No, the force is in and out and everywhere. It's not a blood cell.
Anyway. Okay. Go ahead. Forget we said that word.
Yeah.
But that idea is brilliant. I actually like that. The idea that he knows I think if he knows this, if that's the goal, if that's the purpose, I think he's the big bad. I don't think there's anybody above him.
That would be, and his goal, he wants the power.
Yes.
He wants the power. I mean, there's all anybody, and it's all
now, okay.
That would be,
I'll give you one more though.
Go ahead and give it to me.
If he's not going to be the big bad, what if it was Thrawn?
I would love it.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
How they would bring it in, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would love it.
I mean, the Zahn books are not supposed to be canon.
Yeah,
I think the Zahn books actually, I think with all the new things that are out, I think the Zahn books are actually jacked up.
Yeah,
but they are bringing the idea of Thrawn in to a few things.
Well, they did that.
If they just say, okay, the character exists, the books are not canon.
Well, they're doing it. I mean, in the animated series of Rebels, he's making appearances. So it sounds like to me they're bringing him into the canon of the present Star Wars. So, and they're also releasing a new book from the trilogy. I think it comes out. I've got it pre-order. I think it comes, I don't know, later on this year. So, and I have a feeling that maybe they're going to try to see how they can tie in some of the Thrawn books.
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know, craft it to be part of the present canon. I don't know.
It would be great if they did. Honestly, I like the idea of the character so much.
I love the character.
Even if you ignored the books, ignored the dates and times and process of the books, and you just bring in the character idea.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, having there is a Force user, he is mighty, having a Force user in charge of your army is the way you actually make it a cohesive unit. That's a brilliant idea that came from the Zahn books, and I think that would be great. We
just wrote season 3, all of us, Melissa, parents, we wrote season 3, and I think we need to get some kind of, royalties for that.
Absolutely.
I think so. Man, this is a great audience. We had so much more, but we just went over an hour. And man, we have so much material. I mean, we could probably do a part 2 of this because we've got so much stuff. But this,
I don't know. We did 3 episodes of Tiger King, so I think we could. We could beat Mandalorian into a couple episodes. Well, I don't know if you're there, Mike, because everything on my end stopped.
Hey, ho, ho, he, hey, oh, hey. You hear me? Do you hear me?
I hear you now.
Wow.
I don't know if it's on my end or your end. It's so bizarre.
You know, I think right now, update on Carol, Carol Bass.
No, we're not talking about her.
I got rid of my soundboard on her.
Yep. So, okay. So, can I give you one non-Star? Okay, one non-Star Wars thing, and we can end the show. Okay.
Before
So-
we get knocked off the internet.
Yeah, exactly. No, I just thought this was interesting. Just saw it today. Universal has, Universal released their new Trolls movie
Yeah.
direct to video because there were no theaters open. Okay.
And we talked that a while back about.
We talked a little
being
bit
a
about what that's
possibility,
all
yeah.
going to look like.
Yeah.
So today or yesterday, Universal made an announcement that going forward, because of the success of the new Trolls movie, going forward, every Universal movie is going to release same day on available at home and on in theaters.
Oh, wow.
Now, so they want to do both. AMC came out and immediately said, we are no longer going to show Universal movies
I
because
read
of
that.
this
I
decision.
caught that before the show, and I didn't
Oh
really
my
get into it, and
goodness.
I didn't read deeper into it. So
That is,
wow.
yeah. Universal or AMC specifically said this decision that Universal has made is the reason we will no longer show Universal movies in our theaters.
That's funny. Yeah, there I go again. Yeah. Well, I tell you what. Before the entire, we bring down the entire infrastructure of the internet.
Completely crashes on us. We better go.
I want to do a special thank you for Melissa and for Terrence. You guys were awesome. So many great ideas. Please join us again. It was awesome to have you on.
Absolutely. The more you guys comment and talk, and the more you guys add a lot to the show.
Thank you, Cecilia, and thank you, Kim, and David, my main man. Thank you so much for showing up, Benjamin. If I miss anybody, just thank you so much. Check out our Facebook page, Something About Something, and man, I look forward to next week.
Yep. Something
Same
about
time,
something.
same
Yep.
time.
SomethingaboutSomething.com. Check us up at SAS Nerd on Facebook. And Something About Something on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know all that stuff.
Awesome show. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you riding along with us.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess we should end it now, right?
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's end it. Boy, it was a good show.
It was.
And it wasn't because of us. It's because...
It's the Something About Something podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling. And I'm Ricky Pope, and I think Mike froze again.
the people that came... I'm back.
You missed the whole outro.
Did I really?
Yes.